first track I chose is called Pinball Wizard by a band named Black Dice, and I've been friends with those guys for some time. They're one of the best bands around and have been for a long time. Very inventive, seem to switch things around a lot and come up with new sounds and cool ways of arranging songs, and just kind of a fun attitude to the music that I like a lot. Well, I feel like they're similar to us guys in Animal Collective in that they can get excited about a lot of different kinds of music, and I feel like I can trace that sort of broad spectrum of tastes in their music. There's a lot of sort of potpourri of different elements in there. The next song I chose is by A.V. Terra's Slasher Flicks, and the track is called That It Won't Grow. Yeah, I saw them play a couple shows before the record came out, and this one really stood out to me. There's a bunch of melodies and sort of hooks on the record that really stuck in my mind. This was certainly the one that I kept like waking up singing all the time. It has sort of a soul music bent to the melody somehow. I really like that record. This is probably my favorite song off of it. It's kind of a cool mix between out of control and in control. Okay, the next song is by a British producer named Shackleton, and Silver Keys is the name of the song. He's got a really unique sort of style. I feel like there's nothing else that quite sounds like that. How detailed he gets with programming, the percussion especially, and I feel like you can hear that. Like it kind of sounds like an organic instrument, but I'm pretty sure it's not. And I appreciate that attention to detail. There's something common to a bunch of these songs in that the songs never end up where they started, and they kind of go through a bunch of different passages, and that's a tough thing to do, to make it feel like kind of a graceful movement through it all. A lot of these tracks, I feel like, and especially this one, feature a bunch of different sections, but they're all kind of connected in a really elegant way. Big city, bright lights. The next song is by a band named Spacemen 3, and the track is called Big City. Big City. I'm friends with Pete Kember, who was in the band. They don't play anymore. Pete goes by the name Spectrum and Sonic Boom. Because there was two songwriters in the band, I think they made the record completely separate and then sort of added their pieces together at the end. I'd heard a lot of Spacemen 3 music, but I hadn't heard this track until relatively recently. It was striking a little bit because it's got kind of like a beat to it that was a little surprising to hear. It's sort of droney and certainly creates an atmosphere and kind of an environment. Sort of has a dreamlike quality that I like a lot, but he's really good at that kind of thing. This is a track called Saturated by a producer who goes by Container. I think he's from Providence. The rhythms and the sequencing is kind of heavy and driving, and there's sort of a lot of polyrhythmic stuff happening, and it seems like it's all done live. Yeah, it's pretty noisy, but I feel like the noisy stuff isn't kind of like typical. It's all very sort of shaped and filtered in cool ways. It's good. The next song is called Polarity by an artist named Stellar Ohm Source. This is another one of those tracks that I feel like the movement through the passages of the song and the arrangement of the song is really interesting and exciting, especially if you're a fan of dance music or club music. There's a lot of things that will be familiar in her music, but I feel like there's a way that she sequences stuff, or the way things move into each other is very distinct to her, I feel like, in a way that I find really exciting. The next song is by Ariel Pink, and it's called Put Your Number in My Phone.
Night sky breaks your face like a mystery left uncovered.
This is, I feel like, sort of an odd choice as a first single, in that there's nothing else on the album that really sounds like this. This is another thing where there's a lot of stuff that's really familiar, I feel like, in his music, but the forms of the songs are really wild, and he's super good at chaining together really sort of disparate sections and elements in a way that you don't even notice it when you listen to the track. I think part of it is an attitude and a love for music that is really infectious, I feel like. And probably an excitement about creating and producing music. I think that shows, and you can feel that. The last one is called Iron Pigs, and the band's name is Blues Control. I'm currently on tour with them, and I've seen them play this track live a whole bunch. A really unique band. I feel like there's nothing else that quite sounds like it. The new stuff, or the newer stuff, is a bit more synthetic. There's still guitar. He solos in really cool ways, not like wanky, but sort of just like grooving. They're both really good players, really have come to grips with their instruments. She's really jams on the piano. Some of the sounds, the kind of keyboard sounds she uses, the way they on their own, they're kind of like intense, but how they sort of harmonize some of the elements is really, really cool, really impressive.